Hello everyone, welcome back, or if you're new here, I am Lexi. I'm a current fit model competitor, former bikini competitor, and posing coach. And I decided today I think I'm about due for another little bit of a home gym tour, a little bit of a leg day where I'm now transitioning into off season and focusing on building up some muscle, just talk about like my training, all of that good stuff, methodology, just chat with you guys, try not to make it too long, but go over some of my new additions, things that I want, kind of how I make this all work, since I know my workout situation isn't the usual where I go to a commercial gym or anything. So I'm going to take you guys along, show you my stuff, maybe my wish list of gym equipment, and go through some leg training. So one of the main things that I considered when picking pieces for my home gym was trying to find things that have multiple purposes. Ideally, as many as possible without them not serving a decent enough use in that purpose, if that makes sense. So for example, some of the stuff we'll get into, go over, but finding things that they could be used more than one way was really important, because I don't want to take up the entire garage so that we can't do any of the vehicle maintenance or other things in here, but trying to be conscientious of the footprint of the area while still keeping it overall open here and still getting more bang for your buck on what you get to pick. So let's get into it. We'll start with my first equipment up to my latest and kind of what I use things for and all of that fun stuff. So first things first, I have my power rack. So why I wanted a power rack is I really wanted cable pulley systems. So if you see, this actually has 2 cable pulleys, and you can adjust the height of it, and you just put weights on these little attachments here. So you can actually load it up pretty decently, and they have 2 of them. So how I currently have it set up is I have this one permanently set up for glute press backs, because it is really hard for me to get that set up correctly. So I actually use cinder blocks to stand on, and then I can put a ankle cuff that I use to press down and back, and I just keep that set up there so that I have the blocks. Or if I want to do a front squat, cable squat, thing like that, more glute focused, the cinder blocks are in good height for that as well. So on this side, you can use your cable pulley obviously for, pull downs, all sorts of rows. I also do cable squats on them as well to help me get a little bit more leg activation, all of that fun stuff. Another benefit of a power rack is if you want to do pull-ups, etc., you have that option as well. They also had on mine a spot where you can put a barbell in so that you can do all sorts of type of lifting activities there, bent over rows, etc. with this. It also has storage for your weights, which is awesome as well, so that it doesn't take up as much space there. Actually, I lied. The first thing I ever got was these adjustable dumbbells before we even lived in this house. So why I like adjustable dumbbells is it gave me a lot of freedom of weight selection so that I could use these on upper body and lower body days as well. The cool thing with adjustable dumbbells is on this side, these are 2.5 adder weights. So you can actually adjust by 2.5 or 5 pounds on a lot of your lifts. And then for the actual selectorizer, you have this piece here, and you just select your weight, and it will tell you with the adder weights what that is. Why I like these is because I also was able to get a barbell, which I'll show you in a second, and use those weights on the barbell as well. So instead of having to have a bunch of different dumbbells, I can have these, which function as multi-weighted dumbbells, and also use them on a barbell as well for barbell activities. Over here, I just have a little storage area. I just have all of the attachments that came with the power rack, little foot pad, dumbbells that I've had forever, ankle weights, and all of the attachments that I have. And then I keep my bands and ankle attachments over there. So this is said adjustable barbell here. So for this, it actually says on the other side what the weights are, but it likes to turn upside down, so I keep it that way. Right here, I have this set up primarily for hip thrust so that I have the right height. Since this adjustable barbell is super low, if you see, it does not sit high above where it sits on, I actually use cinder blocks so that it works more like a glute bridge type of setup. I keep this there just because I do hip thrusts so often. It saves me the time of setting it up and taking it down, but it's super easy to remove the barbell if I need, so that I can do other exercises with the bench here or stretch whenever I need to. So this is also where I can do Bulgarian split squats. And then obviously we have our bench, a little dirty from all of the kitties with dirt and things on their paws. Bench, obviously, do any sort of upper body activity, etc. on it. Can be used for all sorts of things. I have an adjustable bench. I actually got it from Sam's Club, so I got a good deal on it so that I can take it up all the way to 90-degree angle if I need to. And my latest equipment addition is a combined leg curl and leg extension machine. This one is plate loaded, and then you just flip this pin whether you want it on leg extension or leg curl, and you can set all of your different settings so it has a wide variety. And then this lap bar pulls out to help you get in and out easily and adjust it wherever you need. Been super, super helpful, especially where I need to focus more on my quads. This really allows me to get that quad isolation and focus that I need. And then in addition to the leg extension, I got mirrors. Jay put them up for me, and I also got these lights so that I can actually do check-ins up here and have a proper little posing area for myself, so that if I want to, I have that, can get good lighting, all of that fun stuff, just to help me as I go through off season and next prep, just be able to evaluate my physique more similarly every time, so that I have consistent lighting in the same area. So first up for my warm-up, what I've been trying to focus on is doing a little bit of abs and then just some glute warm-ups and hips, just to get all of that going. So I've been starting with weighted V-ups with ankle weights. I used to be really good at these. I'm not anymore. They're really good for targeting the lower abs, which is somewhere that I had a weakness on, and my abs in general, where for years I basically stopped training abs. I had really strong abs when I first started, and then we pulled away from it within bodybuilding. And from this point now, I need to train abs again. So I just want to make sure that I get those lower abs in nice and crisp, work on that lower ab strength, so then when I'm on stage, it's a little bit easier to keep that core tighter in the lower midsection for me, because that was one thing I struggled with. So I'm gonna start with some V-ups and then go into some monster walks with a band. Let's get started. All right, so when I'm towards the end of my warm-up, I kind of start to work these in, because it's my first exercise, but I use it like a warm-up. I've always preferred doing kickbacks early on at the beginning of the glute workout, because the upper glute is really hard to engage, and I do need to grow there, just widen out that hip structure a little bit to help with my shape and my back pose, give me more of that hourglass. So I really need to hammer these down, and if I start with kickbacks before my main glute movers, like my hip thrust, which is next, it will help me make sure that the upper glute is used and engaged even in the glute max exercises. Since if you don't activate it and kind of pre-exhaust it, it's really hard to get that glute med, that upper glute, to engage in your other exercises. So I'm gonna get into this. I just go light, really focus on the contraction, make sure I isolate that muscle, just get it pre-exhausted, a little bit of weight. They don't need a ton. That's always been my mentality with it. Let's get into it.
I like to focus high reps, slow and steady. Trying right now to make sure I keep that rib cage closed. Where I've been having issues with rib flare, I'm just really trying to force myself to breathe more through the back of my lungs towards my spine versus in front, just to get in good habits. It's those little things that add up as you go forward. Obviously, muscle is a big thing, but I'm pretty particular with myself and my physique on stage. So just trying to reinforce these good habits while I train, while I work, all those good things will pay off next season so that I'm not fighting half of these issues during my prep. So for my next exercise, I'm doing hip thrusts. This is gonna be my main exercise for the day. So I'm trying to go heavy. My strength is just now starting to come up. I don't know if I'm getting sick. I've been stuffy. I felt really off. So I'm gonna push weight, but I'm being a little conservative because I'd rather not get sick. Just make the most of these few weeks post-show just to try to maximize growth. So I call it a hip thrust. It's more like a glute bridge. I hold at the top where I don't have that huge range of motion for my setup and just to save my lower back. I squeeze really hard at the top. I try to isolate and really think of that lower glute where you see the glute tie into the hamstring. So yeah, probably with this, I'm gonna have to buy the expander pack of weights. I'm almost topping out what I have. So that's probably gonna be my next purchase. As much as I would like a hack squat leg press, I need more weight. So anyways, I decided to wait until like my first real working set to record for you all. So if it doesn't look the prettiest, forgive me. I'm gonna do my best with it. Yeah. Yeah, that felt rough. I was shooting for 15, only got 12. I'm gonna do this for 3 sets. I did take 3 sets to warm up and build up to this, and so I felt really good contraction, really good pump prior. A little out of breath. That's how you know you want to be a little exhausted, fatigued. So I'm gonna do this for 2 more sets. Then I'm gonna finish off glutes. I'm gonna do glute press backs because I've never shown you guys those. And then I'm gonna finish off with some leg extensions. So really like 3 exercises, 4 if you count kickbacks. I know normally I come in with a big plan to do like 80,000 exercises and you guys see at the end of every video, I end up not. That's because you really want to fatigue the exercises that you pick. You don't need to do so many different movements. Whew. Out of breath, but I'm gonna catch my breath, continue on with this. I'll show you guys with the press backs and leg extensions, and that will be a leg day. So these are super awkward to film and do. Just gonna be honest. So these are a cable press back, so it's similar to a step up range of motion. Step up kickback, I feel it really well in my lower glute. Some people, upper glute, it's a little better. So I'm gonna turn in so I get a full rotation. So it's gonna get that abduction of the hip, but also that extension of the knee and hip a little bit as well. Really interesting. I'm gonna do medium weight to start. So this will be my first set. Medium volume. So I'm thinking 12 to 15 reps because my glutes feel pretty toasty. My last set was rough. So just gonna start with that here. Just really push blood into that glute, get it pumped out, and that'll be it for the day on glutes. Just gonna try to crank through these without a ton of weight, just really get that pump going. So officially sweaty. I feel like a glazed donut. I love an outdoor gym workout. But last exercise, thought that was medium weight. That was medium weight. My glutes were definitely fatigued. I felt it more on the left side than the right. So I just stayed at that weight. And now I'm gonna finish off with some leg extensions. This is a medium lightweight for me. I'm gonna start with this. Probably go up a little. I just want to really do some quick volume, finish this off, just get back to the day. But my quads need a little bit of extra love since I really hadn't worked them in years. So just trying to get this done. So I'm gonna snap myself into the machine, get this going. This will probably be the only set I record because I make gross faces during these and I don't want to bore you guys with a basic exercise like this. So time to get into it.
Are you sleepy? Done causing problems?
All right, so that was okay. I don't like wearing shorts on leg day because my legs get stuck to equipment. Even when I was training in indoor gyms, I just get stuck. So I might get like a towel to keep in here or something so that whenever I'm on this in shorts, my legs don't stick. It just distracts me from my focus on the exercise, and I just feel like I can't get the proper range of motion because my skin's gonna rip off. So out of 5, I think I'm gonna run this for 3x15. I might do a drop set on my last set. We'll see. I just, again, a little bit of blood flow to those quads. Just keep them growing, keep them all good and that stuff. All right, you guys, that is all for my leg day. I am winded. Time to go have a post-workout meal, just relax, recover, all of that fun stuff. So let me know if you guys enjoyed that. If you want to see more off-season training and all the things like that, more than happy to record for you. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share with your friends. I'm happy to just show you guys the day in and day out of bodybuilding stuff. So talk to you next time.